stores, in restaurants, on the street, or I saw someone in the dry cleaners, and that's a very, very good feeling. And so even though there are a lot of actual organizations that have been established over the years and highly funded that are trying to create a sense of well-being about Philadelphia for Philadelphians, and also create a better sense of how the rest of the world looks at Philadelphia, I think that the film, video, and television industry has done, almost by accident, the very best job of being able to shine a light.
What are some of the movies that you think have done that in the last 10 years or so?
Well, clearly the most popular movies, anything that Shyamalan has done. You know, The Sixth Sense is...
And he is, of course, based here, outside
Absolutely.
Philadelphia.
Shyamalan lives, works, and is completely dedicated to remaining in the Philadelphia area. So we're very, very proud of that. And in fact, we think he's got his sights on the next couple of movies after he completes, or after he premieres his last film, The Village, in July. I think we'll begin in earnest on planning for the next couple of movies.
That's wonderful. So he's never going to leave Philadelphia.
Not if I can help it. Absolutely no.
Well, I guess if you make it easy and you facilitate things, there's no reason why filmmakers who've had good experiences here shouldn't come back. Right?
Yes.
What about local filmmakers? I mean, you mentioned someone quite famous, but the filmmakers who are starting out, I mean, we have obviously a film program here at Drexel and other universities in the area are churning out filmmakers. Does your office do something to encourage young independent filmmakers, and can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'd love to tell you about that. We have a three-part mission statement, and the first is really a marketing side. It's about attracting film and television production to the area in every genre, because, you know, like I said, we work in film and television, but music videos, documentaries, student films, everything we work to try to attract that physical production. The second thing we do is what we also talked about, which is that detail, liaison, problem-solving part. The third part of our mission is a part that takes, it's about growing the local indigenous film community. It's about anything we can do to make sure that student filmmakers, that young people who want to get into the film industry, and that experienced filmmakers who want to stay in Philadelphia can find plenty of work, plenty of opportunity in this region. And in 2000, we actually gave it a name, which is Greater Philadelphia Filmmakers, and Joan Bressler at the Greater Philadelphia Film Office is the director of the Filmmakers Program. We have a tremendous filmmakers presence on our website. Filmmakers...
Yeah, what is that website again?
Oh, yeah, the website.
I know the website is sort of famous in the area.
Is it? That's great.
As a resource, because I know my students refer to it. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, the address, we have a great address, which is film.org. We obviously we've been in it for a long time, and emails to the office are mail@film.org. And we, on the filmmakers section of the hotline, you can find a jobs hotline, so you can find, whether you're experienced or not experienced, you'll find listings for actors and for crew, for internships, for staff jobs are on there all the time. There is a calendar of film and video related events. Anybody who's got anything can call the office and post their events, or find whatever's going on in the region on that particular day. We host seminars and information on the bulletin board about all the different kinds of seminars that we host, and we also list the seminars that other people host. So we really want to be the focal point for helping to, I call us the mother of all production, but we really want to be the home base where everybody can find all the resources that they need.
Well, I think it's wonderful, and I know you are seen that way, your office and you in particular, and in fact, I was wondering, did you set out to be this movie maven of Philadelphia? Or, I mean, how did it come about that you have sort of taken on this role as the mother of film in Philadelphia? Is that something you set out to do, or did it just happen?
It's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think that I'm a very optimistic person, and I've had a lot of jobs prior to getting this job. Each one I've liked more than the previous one. So element of my optimism. But something clicked, I think, when I got in this job. I realized that I was able to understand. I love to be around artists. I love to be around creative people. But I think I have a good sense of the business side. And so I've been able to kind of gather together all the information of what it will take to help to keep those creative people around me. And so I think that it just gelled. It's like we always knew what was next. There was never a stagnant period for us. And in fact, we're talking about adding a tremendous element now to the film office. And it's not a done deal, but I'm not afraid to talk about it. It's not a secret. We're very much considering now adding the whole music side of Philadelphia to the film office, in which point, if we do go forward, we'll probably change the name to the Greater Philadelphia Film, Video, and Music Office.
That's
and
exciting.
so we'll try to do for the indigenous music community what we've been doing all along for the film industry. And one thing you asked about students and all of the student filmmakers here at Drexel, any of them who have worked with us, I hope they will confirm what we try very hard to do is that we treat every filmmaker, whether they're a first-time filmmaker, a student filmmaker, a low-budget filmmaker, or Night Shyamalan or Lee Daniels, we treat each and every one like they are Night Shyamalan. So, because that's how filmmakers grow up to be successful.
Yeah. But that perhaps is one of the sort of lures of Philadelphia over, say, New York and LA, where you tend to think of a more cutthroat, more brutal environment.
We're very hands-on.
That's a selling point, I think.
We're very nurturing. That's the mother part.
Well, you've mentioned the mother part. You have a daughter.
I do have a daughter, yes.
And I wondered
and
what
two stepdaughters and two step-granddaughters.
Oh, well, that's quite a large number of people that you're overseeing.
A lot of girls.
All girls. Yeah. What does your daughter, and I guess your stepdaughters, think about what you do? I mean, movies are associated with youth culture, obviously, and I would expect that they would be excited by that. Do they have opinions? Do they have, are there aspects in which they criticize you and so forth? I mean, I have a daughter myself, so I'm asking this from my own personal sense of curiosity.
You know, in my case, in my family, there's never been anybody in the film industry, and I think that they were all quite, on the one hand, excited and amazed, and on the other hand, not at all surprised that I was going to go into this direction. And they've been extremely supportive, and they love it. They all, you know, but at the same time, they're a little bored with it. You know, they all have their...
Because you're just their mother.
Exactly.
Right? Okay,
exactly.
I know that feeling. Tell me about your long-term goals for Philadelphia. I mean, what would you like to see in your mind's eye, in your visionary sense? What do you foresee for, say, the next 10 years in terms of Philadelphia movie and television shooting?
Well, first of all, like I said, I think we need to incorporate the music industry into the film office, and I think that's probably a shorter-term goal. Another very rapid goal that we have is that we are losing the Civic Center, which has been our soundstage since 1997, and we're about to move all of our resources down to the Navy Yard. Our goal is, in the shorter term, is to build a very viable soundstage down at the Navy Yard. And for the long term, to either for the city or, more importantly, for private enterprise to feel the need to build state-of-the-art, brand new from the ground up sound stages in Philadelphia so we can support a growing industry for both film and television. Another short-term goal that will become lead to other long-term goals is we have two bills in the state legislature which are pending right now, both of which have passed out of the House and are at the Senate. And these are tax incentive legislation that will help us to compete with other countries like Canada and Australia and Eastern Europe that have tremendous tax incentive packages and tax investment packages. And more recently, in the last year, Louisiana and New Mexico, who passed very similar legislation. And if we can get this legislation passed and signed by the governor into law by the end of this fiscal year, by the end of June, then I think that you're going to see in the short term a tremendous uptick in the amount of productions that we're going to be able to bring to this area, which then the private enterprise part will automatically follow because there'll be the demand.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Sharon, for telling us about film in Philadelphia and all the wonderful things that we have in store. And I want to thank you for joining us for the Drexel interview.